Hi guys, Artie here, and I hate to say it, but Adult Swim's Checkered Past block is starting to become stagnant and repetitive by only airing the same bunch of shows repeatedly. On July 8th, Ed, Edd n Eddy and Billy and Mandy will be rotated out of the block so Dexter's Lab and Courage can air on the block again after being off weekdays since late April. They really can't show anything that hasn't aired on the block yet. What's even worse is that Samurai Jack didn't even get a chance and only lasted 4 weeks, before being replaced with more Ed, Edd n Eddy and Billy and Mandy after Toonami Rewind took over Fridays. Maybe it'll finish its run at a later date. In my opinion, they really should go back to the 4 shows a day format, instead of an hour of each show. And Toonami Rewind should have been on Saturdays in the first place. The way it should be is to have Checkered Past run during weekdays again, with Fridays reserved for a special feature or obscure show, Toonami Rewind on Saturdays, and Sunday for the usual Acme Night film. Speaking of Acme Night, the block is going on hiatus again like it did back in January to air Futurama specials for the next 4 weeks, starting on June 30th, beginning with the special Bender's Big Score. Why don't they add Futurama to Checkered Past? It may not be a CN original, but an underappreciated classic Fox show. Okay, I'm half joking about that it should be added to the block, but still. Anyways, the problem is that they have been playing it too safe with this block and not taking enough risk. They took a big risk when they aired Cow and Chicken, I Am Weasel, and Evil Con Carne, which are much more obscure Cartoon Network series, so why not expand upon that? Even then, Cow and Chicken didn't even get to finish its full run, presumably because of poor ratings. The most obvious choice of what to introduce next is Johnny Bravo, and everyone else seems to think so, but Warner Bros. Discovery doesn't want to touch it with a 20-foot pole because of social pressure. That brings me to my next point. Why didn't they have the block on Cartoon Network in the first place? It would open the opportunity to air a broader range of shows. Basically, anything before the Check-It era is considered classic CN in my opinion. Kids Next Door has been a frequently requested show, but it would not make sense to air on Adult Swim, since the whole theme of the show is kids versus adults. So it would be very ironic if they did air it, unless they aired it for that specific reason. Before you ask, according to someone who works at Weigel Broadcasting, MeTV Toons has absolutely no plans to air any Cartoon Network originals in the foreseeable future, if ever, sadly. Most likely because Checkered Past and Cartoon Network should be airing the older original shows. My dream would be for MeTV Toons to air cartoons during the overnight hours, but that idea has been ruled out entirely. Many people forget that Hanna-Barbera did produce these early Cartoon Network shows such as Dexter's Lab, which counts as a Hanna-Barbera show I suppose. MeTV Toons strictly wants to stick with WB animation content and a few other old school cartoon studios, which makes sense. Another aspect I want to point out is the block's lack of availability in international markets. Latin America is the only other place in the world that carries the Checkered Past block, and one of the only places for that matter that has a 24-hour Adult Swim channel. There was actually a hoax several months ago of a video claiming to be a promo for Checkered Past on Cartoon Network Canada, even though Canada has their own Adult Swim channel. Not every country has Adult Swim, so they would probably have to put Checkered Past on either Cartoon Network, TNT, or a local channel such as Warner TV in Poland. The block may not be needed in certain places, as Boomerang Thailand still airs old Cartoon Network shows. Related to this, the president of Cartoon Network, Michael Oline, actually has plans to expand Adult Swim further internationally, primarily in Europe. About time, since Adult Swim has had a very small impact outside of the Americas, and has been hit or miss in Western Europe. The channel would be a big hit in Southeast Asia and Eastern Europe for sure. To sum it up, the block has been stagnating ever since they lost Fridays, and the future of the block is uncertain. But I think the block will stick around, since it does receive high ratings. The issue is just keeping things fresh, and they should expand their block rather than stifle it. The possibilities are endless. I guess that they air Dexter's Lab encouraged the most, since they get the highest ratings and are the most popular shows on the block. Makes sense ratings wise, except for the seasonal Raw episodes of Dexter's Lab. Seasons 3 and 4 feel like a totally different show. In order to stay relevant, they need to either adapt or die. Checkered Past needs to step up their game and air mid to late 2000s shows that neither Cartoon Network or Boomerang are interested in airing. And don't take this as me thinking that Checkered Past should be scrapped altogether, because I don't want that. It's better to have the same handful of classic cartoons shown all the time, rather than not having them at all. It beats having more of the Fox cartoons, which already airs way too much. There's always room for improvement. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, notify, and check out other videos on the channel. You may like them. What would you do to improve Checkered Past and revitalize the block? Let me know in the comments. Also, thank you for over 3,000 subscribers. It's been almost a year since I've uploaded my first video.